Welcome in, welcome in. What's going down? It is Breakdown 502. Rashawn Myers, Roman Kelly, Haven Harrington, the boys of Wake Up 502 getting together for our first basketball review of the season. Fellas, how y'all doing, man?
Doing good. Doing well. Excited to be in here. Excited to react to what these new cards look like.
Man, I'm super excited, man. I'm I've been waiting for basketball. Y'all know, while football is exciting and they are having a wonderful season. I can't lie and say I have not been waiting for the basketball to come back. Of course, we chatted a little bit about the Kansas game on Wake Up 502 Saturday morning. After that first exhibition loss, but the Cardinals, of course, came back, played a game Tuesday, knocked off the Bucknell Bison. So we're gonna just kind of go and just kind of review everything globally. I know Haven Harrington is here in the building as well. He's wearing his football shirt, so
I'm gonna
you
go
know.
grab my notes.
Yeah,
Man,
absolutely. Grab your notes. Grab your notes. Haven, how are you doing? Are you ready to talk some basketball, even though we are in the thralls of football season?
we are definitely in the throes of football season, but I will humor you this one time and talk basketball
You know what, Haven
in the
Harrington, I appreciate that.
in the middle of football season. But before we get started, I'd like to remind people, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell. So every time we do a breakdown 502 or we do a wake up 502 after dark, you guys will be notified and you can watch us anytime. So once again, subscribe, like, and share with all your friends because this is how we keep this thing going. Without you guys, we couldn't do this. So we need all your help. And the best way to help us is like, subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends. And don't forget, man, support the whole main event family of sports shows, the Real Spill podcast, my man Romy Bean over here. And he has like 5 or 6 other compatriots under his umbrella.
I know
We just
Rome
we
got his
just
own
spread.
little faction now.
I
He's
know, right? He's like a new
It's
affiliate.
all sponsored. It's all sponsored by Main Event Sports. You all know it.
Rome's got his whole little faction. It's like the NWO Wolfpack and the NWO Red, White and Black.
Hey fellas. You know, a nigga like me, I'm trying to take over.
Yeah, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm trying to replace ESPN. I'm
There you
tired of
go.
ESPN.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely, the takeover is real, and it will be televised. but fellas, hey man, let's get into it. Um, we got two exhibitions under the belt. Of course, Louisville lost the first one. Kansas game 90-82. We know what that was. Darren Peterson was half man, half amazing dude. Thought he was like
He was
Tracy
Kobe.
McGrady for he was Tracy McGrady for a half of basketball and just went unconscious. Cardinals come back, put together a much more solid effort last night, taking on the Bisons of Bucknell. Um, Let me just get how y'all are feeling. Because it's been very interesting to listen to a lot of the commentary over these first two games. Like, what are your just initial takeaways of these first couple of games? Rome, I'll let you handle it first. Just give me the whatever pops in your head when you think about Louisville basketball. Now that we've actually seen the product through two games.
We've got a lot of skill. We've got a lot of talent. That's the first thing. Obviously, even through the misses, just you could see that this team has a lot of players out there that are comfortable playing on the floor, out on the perimeter. Right? We went and spent money on this backcourt, and you can see it. Right? It's shown just in how many guys are you trust having the ball in their hands. How many guys you kind of feel excited for when they get the ball. Right? That's a high number on this team in terms of guys you think can put the ball in the basket.
Yes.
But there's also a lot of signs of a team that clearly needs a lot of time, a lot more time working together. Clearly needs to work on some things defensively, right? It takes time to mesh in this new day and age of college basketball because everybody's coming from a new team, everybody's learning a new system. Granted, we have a handful of guys who know the system, and that's also been glaring. The guys who have been here for a while and know what's being asked of them because they've been doing it for over a year now, some 2 years. Kobe Rogers, a couple of years. Javon Hadley, Kobe Rogers going on year 3 of being around it, right?
Hmm.
Javon Hadley and Kanai Roos, Ali Khalifa, Kason Pryor, who didn't play, but just a couple of guys who have spending year 2 in this system now. You're going to be able to see that. But a couple of these guys in the front court, Rashawn is the next thing, I think, are just another emphasis of something that's going to we're going to need some improvement. Granted, you're not going to expect Evangelos Zugris, Sananda Fru to come over here and immediately be the best players on the court, immediately know how to do every single thing that's being asked. Because a lot of what they're doing, yeah, they did it over there. The way they're being guarded when they did it is a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Some of the things that they're guarding over there, they didn't have to worry about their man being a factor. They've got to worry about it over here. Some of the rules a little bit different as well, right? That they have to just adjust to because of the intensity and the aggressiveness, right? Sananda Fru got to realize he's the heaviest guy out there and take advantage of that because, some things he's not really allowed to do over there. You can't throw your arm and elbow and go shoulder first into a guy underneath the basket in some little rules. I think there's some certain rules over there that he can't do things that he can do over here,
Yeah.
right? Doesn't have to worry about as much as certain offensive foul calls, I think. So it's just a matter of adjusting, a matter of getting used to playing over here and what is being done in this system specifically. You've mentioned it. Pat Kelsey's tried to deny it. It is a bit of an intricate system just for guys who have come. I mean,
Hey,
some
Rome,
guys have played really
he
basic
confirmed it
basketball.
last night in the press conference that after this man wanted to deny that his system was complicated and it's kind of tough for guys to get it down the first time. Last night, Coach Kelsey comes out and says, "Well, you know, guys trying to figure out what they need to do, and the fact that there's a lot of concepts but not a lot of rigid rules, sometimes it takes them a little bit so it gets better and our offense builds as the year goes along." Literally, that's what I asked you, Coach,
Man,
and you denied it.
that sounds like the old Dave Chappelle, Rick James skit where he was like, "No, I didn't put my feet on his couch. Yeah, I put my feet on his couch."
That's like that's exactly what I asked, but because you lost to Kansas, you want to be in your feelings and be all mad and not answer the question. But Coach came clean last night, so we're friends again. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, but I just think it's just a matter of getting used to playing over here and what that looks like and getting comfortable to it. And I'm sure all of our guys are going to get on the same page. Um, we didn't see a lot of the ball getting into the paint on the offensive end in the first game against Kansas, and then in Bucknell, you saw it both with the ball handler and with passing. Like a lot of guys just looking at the person in the paint. A couple of post entry passes that were almost like, whoa, I wouldn't have thrown it at that moment. A couple of low bounce passes that came in and got it to our man. Granted, being not very being loosely guarded in the paint, but still just the ball moving, covering a good amount of distance as it's traveling into the post. Granted, that's how you create the open threes. The ball goes in, you collapse the defense, even if it's just a step, even if it's just you're going just one step closer to the paint, just in case. You're trying to get maybe closer to a potential rebound, right? Because you don't know what's coming next. Boom, a cross-court pass is coming to your man who's now got that extra step of open breathing room to get his shot off. Isaac Greeley was a definite beneficiary of the ball touching the paint more, and I think you got to see that just because a lot of his attempts in the Kansas game were contested because the ball was staying out on the perimeter the whole time. His man not having to do a lot of sliding his feet and shifting and doing much. Granted, the ball moved a lot more this time around against Bucknell, so felt good. But I'm naturally gonna think this is Bucknell, right? I'm not gonna hate on anybody. Bucknell is a well-coached team; they play hard, but not going to be close to the kind of average opponent we see once our non-conference state really gets going and obviously ACC play. So it's weird to think we've got UK in like 13 days or whatever, but they're going to have to make some changes. Not changes. They're just going to have to improve and get more cohesive and on the same page defensively.
And Haven is fine. No, and I totally agree with everything you said. I mean, it's definitely a work in progress. There's a lot of things happening with it. Haven, when you look at this team, what are your what is there anything that we know about this team so far? Like what do you feel good about? What do you feel bad about, or is it still too early to tell with a lot of that?
Well, we know they can shoot.
Yes,
We know
definitely.
there's some excellent 3-point shooting team, man. They showed that by hitting over 50% from three against Bucknell. So they are, when they get going, they're a great 3-point shooting team. But we still haven't seen yet, like, what happens when they can't rely on their three to generate offense.
Yeah.
So that's still kind of a question mark. Last year we had the benefit of playing the Bahamas. So one game, all they did was shoot threes, like against Bucknell. The very next game, all they did was try to pound inside the paint, drive for layups, and practice on everything not three. So you could tell that they had, even the three wasn't falling, that a backup offense. This year, with our two exhibition games, we kind of our three wasn't dropping against Kansas,
Kansas.
which kind of I think led to a lot of frustration on offense. We really didn't know how to get the ball into the paint. It's like we weren't trying to really drive the ball in the paint to get fouls or make it to the basket, things of that nature. We kind of cleaned a lot of that stuff up against Bucknell, but still like mostly 3-point shooting team. So we kind of see like what happens when maybe the three's not falling because it's going to happen. There's going to be some games where you're shooting maybe only 35% for three, which for most teams is really good. I think for this team, it's kind of like, we could do better. Um, and to see like how else they can drain offense, and I was like to see them just get better on defense. There's a
No,
couple of
that's.
times the guys Bucknell was able to kind of go past our guys,
Mhm.
get the layup. One of the times I'm things like right before the half, we're trying to wear the clock out and went right passes for an easy layup. Now, granted, Mikael Brown came down and got the three, got a 35-foot 3-pointer to close out the half. But still, the guy was easily got past our defense, way too easy for, the layup. So clean some things that up. I think I think this has a chance to be a really good team, and actually live up to the hype that we kind of put on this team. But I just want to caution U of L fans out there, listening, that it may take a while before like you see the hype. Mikael, he's still a freshman. He's gonna show flashes in games, and in some games he's gonna look lost. And it's just a part of being a freshman. Come March, I think he'll be ready to go, but just be prepared there, my U of L fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, it was very interesting to see the differences between game one and game two structurally. Those is probably my biggest takeaways from the first exhibition versus the second exhibition. When I say structurally, I mean offensively and defensively, the setup of what we were trying to do, the structure that we had in trying to do it. I mean, even in chaos, because I know Coach Kelsey says that a lot of it's freelance and a lot of it's chaos, there is still structure and philosophies that you're trying to implement. And I think that the biggest difference I saw from game one to game exhibition one to exhibition two, honestly, was it looked like Louisville had a game plan going into game two. Like honestly, it felt in that Kansas game, just looking at how they played and how the guys played, it was a lot of one on one. It was a lot of defense with really not many principles. It was a lot of, it felt almost like Kelsey had been coaching these guys for the last several months. And he almost used the Kansas game like, okay, we've been going over all this stuff in practice. I'm not going to tell you guys anything. I want to see what you retained about what we've been teaching and what we've been talking about for the last 4 or 5 months. That's what
Apparently,
it
not
looked like.
much.
Well, and like the one of the things, it's one of those things where you have a lot of new guys, bright lights, mega opponent. You got Bill Self coming into the Yum Center. The lights, the light when the lights are that bright, a lot of times, even if somebody is giving you a full speech, when those lights come on and it's time for you to go, guess what happens when it's time to give that speech? You forget all your lines. And that game looked a lot like everybody just kind of forgot what they were supposed to do. So it seemed like almost, and Rome, you can tell me if you noticed it. It seemed like everybody just kind of went to their comfort zone. Michael Brown went to his one-on-one high school game. All Ali Khalifa could do was try to throw backdoor passes. Ryan Conwell's trying to take everybody one-on-one and just get buckets like he's back at Xavier. And McNeely's just waiting to try to shoot a fadeaway 30-footer. That was literally the whole game, you know?
Yeah, and the bigs are screening because everything in practice has been set up on lobs and stuff from sets.
Yes,
like,
it's a
all their
crazy
points
American
have come from
offense,
sets.
and I have no idea what to do, so I'm just going to try to set screens.
These motherfuckers out here playing pickup ball. I don't know what to do. That's kind of, I think, a little bit of what happened in the first game to an extent. That's a good point.
That's the way it looked. I mean, that's literally the way it looked. If you go back and look, like it looked like nobody knew what to do, so everybody just went to whatever made them feel safe and comfortable.
Yeah, Javon Hadley out there trying to help everybody out, understanding when to pick his parts and when to not, doing everything correct. Yeah, it's
like that's what it looked like. So like when I saw and honestly, there were no, and when you think about it, Rome, in that first game, there were honestly no adjustments either. There were no like it wasn't like they were coming out of timeouts and Coach Kelsey was like, okay, we're gonna run this set, we're gonna run this, try to get an easy bucket here. They weren't even running any baseline out of bounds against Kansas. Like they were just literally just trying to throw the ball in and just like go. Like there was no structure to that Kansas game. And I say all that to say, when I wanted to see what it would look like going from game one with that being where they were to what it was going to look like in game two. And when I say it was night and day different, like there were hard and fast rules of what they were trying to do offensively. There was a clear intention to get the ball into the paint on the drive, and there was a clear intention to get Sananda Fru going by getting him the ball either alley-oop or post entry passes. They made it a point that they wanted to get that ball into the lane. And they also made it a point to say, we're not going to allow Bucknell to just go into the lane unless all 5 sets of eyes are staring at them. Doesn't mean necessarily you're going to do everything perfect, but every time they try to run this pick and roll and the big man has to hedge to go out there and try to stop the ball handler, the other 3 guys were standing in the lane staring to see what to do. None of that happened in the first game. So like just structurally for me, that told me that Kelsey wanted to see what those guys had, did not really care whether they lost that game or not, and he used the motivating factor of embarrassment, Haven Harrington, because when you go out there and you get embarrassed on national TV, that's a great motivator to go out there and figure it out. We saw Michael Brown shooting jump shots after the Kansas game. We've heard that they had a couple of really good practices and everybody was locked in. And it seemed like the whole team had that scouting report and they were going out of their way to figure it out. I mean, that so for me, like that was the biggest thing because Roman, I'm like you, like I saw the pieces and seeing the pieces and seeing what they had, I was fine with what I saw in game one. Like the result didn't matter. I think for the fans, it's funny that I was listening to Steve Rummage, and he said the first thing that he realized after watching the Kansas game was he loved the idea of the Kansas game, but after seeing it, he doesn't know if he really needed to see it because if this would have been a final score given from a quote unquote secret scrimmage and nobody saw it, he wouldn't be upset. He wouldn't be annoyed. He would just say, "Oh, Louisville lost by 8 to Kansas in the secret scrimmage." But at that point, it still feels like just a glorified practice because it wasn't on TV. But you add TV, you add the bells and whistles, you add all the anticipation and excitement. Now everybody's upset, melting down and going insane crazy.
Yeah,
you know.
But Pat, like because I believe what you just mentioned that Pat Kelsey probably did because you watch the coaching staff like on defending defending the out of bounds stuff. They tried to make sure they got it all right and stuff like that. They didn't really call stuff out. They didn't really try to put an emphasis on stuff. It was all in the timeouts. We have a very active coaching staff during the live dribble.
Yes.
None of not
They didn't
nearly
do
as
anything
active,
against Kansas.
not
There were
nearly
no
as active
coaches
as they
up.
normally
No, there was no
in the Kansas.
conversations. There was nothing.
So that's probably right. I think if you make it a glorified scrimmage, a glorified practice with a secret scrimmage, then Pat Kelsey isn't going to waste that on not calling anything and not trying to get that practice against the opposition with their sets out. Just because Kansas isn't the kind of team you got to worry about seeing unless it's in the tournament. So he definitely is going to take advantage of that. So I don't know. I think it's getting them prepared for adversity in front of your home fans because one, you've got a couple big teams coming here to play you. You might get down 10 on your home court against a team that you think you can beat, a team that you're going into that game probably needing to beat just because of what the ACC may look like with your quad one opportunities. So I think that's one thing that you just as much as I agree with Rummage about what it means, about how it impacts me,
Right.
what I had to go through seeing it,
Right.
they needed it. The players needed it, I think.
I mean, to me, it was like, I think some of the fans' real angst about that scrimmage exhibition game against Kansas is that all off season we had pumped up, a lot of people in the media pumped up this Louisville team like they were the next coming of like the 86 Lakers. Like McHale's Me Magic, we had Worthy, had all those guys out there, and it was waiting to be let loose, and they were just going to raise a ruckus and weren't going to be stopped. And to kind of watch them for the first time, and then they look so disjointed. I can see a lot of little fans like, well, hey, this is what everybody's been telling me about. Everybody's been telling me like this. These are the next, these like the 86 Lakers. And no, they're not. They wound up being like the Magic, when they first got in the league, the Heat expansion team. Like, who are these dudes? You know what I'm saying? And I think the fans, and plus they had all the hype. They had all the theatrics. The place was rocking. It was packed. They had the lights, the pyrotechnics, everything else going on. Like it's not an exhibition game. Like it's the first game of the season against a ranked Kansas team. And everybody treated it as such. And, when Louis come out there looking disjointed, everybody was like, what the hell? Who are these dudes?
Yeah, no, I mean that's literal. Like, and I do, and I understand it. I understand it completely. But a lot like Mike said on your show, Roman, is that there are weird results that come out of these exhibition games. Like he talked about the fact that Indiana went out there, they beat Tennessee at Tennessee last year to open the exhibition season. Tennessee was a number 1 seed, and Indiana didn't make the NCAA tournament last year. So, it's one of those things where it's
like
still
preseason football.
Exactly. It's like you got to take it with a grain of salt because you just don't know what these coaches are looking to get out of these games. When it's a game that does not count against your record, what are you trying to get out of it? And that's the biggest question mark is what is the purpose of this game? And you don't really know. I mean, it's like, I'm gonna be honest. It's like when I look at the Purdue Kentucky game, like that result, that's nice for UK that they were able to get it done. But what was Matt Painter trying to get out of that? What that you have a new Purdue team. They're trying to install a new offense. They're going back to the double post, which they haven't done in the last 3 or 4 years. You do have a Kentucky team that that they don't have Jalen Lowe. We don't really know what they're looking to get out of that. But depending on what those coaches are trying to get out of that game, or what they are trying to show or not trying to show, or what principles they're giving their players, you just don't know until the games count. Teams are going to do what's in the best whatever's in the best interest of getting ready for the regular season. And I think that's the biggest thing that fans have to do and keep in mind. Now, with that being said, Rome, give me maybe I'd say 2 players offensive, well, not necessarily offensive. Give me 2 players that you trust, and then give me maybe 2 players that you think need the most work, as you've seen through the first 2 as we get ready for this first game versus South Carolina State on Monday.
That's tough. That's a tough one. I'll start with that need the most work.
Okay.
I'll go with the bad news first. I think naturally I want to say Sananda Fru because I do think that there's a lot of things that this team is going to do that isn't shooting threes that we're going to rely on him for. It looked really, really good. Not really good, really good. It looked a lot better in the Bucknell game. The screening, the rolling, the being in the right place, finding the open spot on the court, being in the technically the correct spot in the dunker's role, even though that isn't necessarily where the ball was going to end up. He was in the right spot on a lot of drives to either be an option or contest for the offensive rebound. You saw that. Granted, we were also driving the ball a lot more too. That's did he look so bad in the first game because we were maybe shooting too many threes? Probably, right? I think that maybe goes into that a little bit, which is fine. I'm going to say he's going to need some work though, just because there's a couple finishes I didn't like. There was a couple moments where he lost the ball I didn't like on the offensive side, where we're going to need him to be sound. We're going to need him to have strong hands, and when he does have a physical mismatch in front of him defensively, use that mismatch and get that ball into the rim. If you're somewhere where you have your shoulders are square with the ball near the basket, right? And there's not two guys on you, not very many people that you're going to see that you're going to be able to prevent you from scoring unless you just don't have the skill. And he does. So he also has the strength. Combine the two, get a bucket. But granted, how much are we going to be asking our bigs to do that? I don't know. So that's kind of where I didn't really want to that's not going to be a necessity for us to be a team that sees success either, though. That's just something I personally want to see. Second, it's kind of tough because I saw some good out of Woolley, and I saw some good out of Kenai Roos, but I saw some things out of both of their games that I'm going to need to see some improving on. And I think with the expectation on Roots, I'm going to have to go with Roots here because Kenai, granted, they're both sophomores, and I think Roos might even be younger. Woolley, his things are very, very fixable, right? That just a little bit of emphasis and then practice. Kenai's things are a little bit mental, I think. So that's where it's like, how do you improve something when you're a role player and you're only getting this many minutes a game? You're only being asked to do these certain couple of things on offense. Granted, there's not a lot of rules, like Kelsey said, like we've seen the shot selection from the guys last year, like we've already seen in the shot selection this year. There's a long leash on everybody when they're out there in certain moments on the floor. And he's going to let you kind of learn as well in those moments. But with that being said, Kenai, you're too long, you're too skilled. And we say skilled, we keep saying it, and that's one thing is that he can do it all kind of offensively except dribble in the scoring manner, getting downhill, going north and south, right?
Yes.
When he has to do more than the basic things, he seems to not really have it mentally in terms of his decision making, his decisiveness, his intention, right? He's not making a lot of intentional dribbles and intentional movements when he knows he has the scientific physics to angle himself to score, right? You see it. We all see it. He knows he's got the stride. He knows he's got the wingspan, and he knows the defender in front of him is not as long, but they're just close enough to him with another help defender just close enough by that he's not sure what decision he should make right there. So he passes it out, right? That was freshman Kenai. This is sophomore Kenai. This is everything about you physically can be in the NBA if you put it all together, Kenai. And you've got to go and start putting it together offensively. Granted, in the basic sets and the movements and the screens and the next movement after the first screen and where you run to try to drag that defender with you and certain things like that, he seems like he is a second-year player in this system, and that was really good to see, right? You could tell that, that guy looks like he's been here a little bit longer than some of these other guys. And, for someone that's turning the ball over in moments he shouldn't a couple of times, that's a good thing. And the jumper looks a lot better, so I'm satisfied with that. Woolley, granted, I chose Kenai for that answer. Woolley, though, he has all the tools offensively. His kinds of just he knows, I think, when a basketball game requires this and when a basketball game requires that. It's just a matter of him kind of being sure that he's the one that's supposed to be doing it. I think it's a little bit different. You're coming off the bench. You're the backup. Your lead ball handler role. it seems like when Mikel's not on the floor. So it's just a matter of him being certain, I think, out there, which is kind of a decision-making thing. But the other thing is that he has it all physically. The eye test, it all passes. He's gotten to the rim with ease in both of these games and had trouble finishing at the rim. Granted, because he just hasn't anticipated what that second defender is going to do very well.
Dude's gotten his block shot like a shot block like 6 times.
Yeah, and
in
that's
2 games.
you kind of expect that from a young guy, guard type of player, doing all of that kind of stuff off the catch. It looks like, because all of his decisions in transition have been great. That stuff where he's catching in the corner, pump fake, good move, getting to the basket, it looks good. He's just that second defender. He's not adjusting well to that. That'll come, I think, though. Like he had that one move where he like kind of got tripped up a bit. They didn't call it. He went behind the back, went up. The defender kind of fouled him, but they called it an up and down or a jump ball when he passed it out to the corner. At the same time, I don't know if you remember that, it was towards the end of the game there against Bucknell. Like that's a very, very high skill level play right there, to know that they're not calling it and get the ball out the very last second. That's just you can tell he's a good passer. You can tell he has all the skill he needs. Just a matter of putting it together as well for him.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, with Wooly, I think the biggest thing for him is he's got to learn to play off 2 more when he's attacking the basket. Right now, when he's attacking the lane, what's happening is he's off balance. So when he gets to the lane, unless he's able to lay it straight in, he has no momentum to be able to either, search out the contact and get there, beat that man to the punch. I think that's probably the biggest thing, is that if you play off 2 and you load up on the drive, now you can go jump into that defender, jump into that big man, jump into the guard that's defending you in transition, create the contact, and then finish at the hoop after you get the bump. That way you have an opportunity for the foul and the easy basket. That's something that I think is just going to come in time. You know what I mean? Like it feels like right now his head is more based in, I'm just trying to make sure I'm making the right decisions. I think once he gets down what he's supposed to do, then he'll work on being more efficient in how he finishes. For him, I think Willie just seems like he's still maybe focusing on making sure he's doing the right things.
Yeah,
Like
that's all that is. Yeah, that's a
that's
great
what
point.
it feels to me, like what he's doing there. Haven, for you, any things that stand out to you as far as the guys that you feel, may need a little bit more work, or you want to see how they do better against South Carolina State?
I want to see our bigs, Zoo and Fruit. Like once they get the ball, there's a couple of times they got the ball on the post, and they start to make a move, but like it's almost like they didn't know what move to make. So there's a couple of times I thought they just could have powered over their man and kind of threw it up. But I like to see them develop some more post moves. When you do get the ball on the block, they have at least like 2 or 3 things they can do besides power my man and just try to shoot over him or pass it out immediately.
Yeah.
Because as the season goes on, they're going to need to at least be a threat to score.
Yeah.
In order to have that defense really collapse. So I want to see them learn some more post moves, and when they get the ball, like not look so panicked. Because when they got the ball, there was one-on-one isolation a couple of times against Bucknell, and they had the look on their face like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. There was at least one time in both games where Zugris got the ball and was so excited for what he was about to do, he ended up mishandling, fumbling the ball, and ended up going out of bounds. Like he just mishandled the ball and it goes flying straight out of bounds. Like he was just
he got James Scott hands.
Yeah.
He's too excited, man.
He didn't know it. In the second time, like a couple of times on Bucknell, him and Zoo and both Fruit, they got the ball in the post, and it looked like if they just couldn't turn around as power over their dude, it's like they didn't know what else to do with the ball. Like, crap.
I'm still waiting for the first Zugris shot attempt. This dude has had the ball like 3 or 4 times, like right down low, and he, for some reason, he ain't even got a shot off yet. Like
He'll be all right.
Zoo feels like a guy who his energy level is so off the charts that when he gets the ball into his hands, he's so excited he can't even contain himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like his adrenaline's too pumped up.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's way too, He's
which is
way too
good.
jacked up.
Keep it
I
up.
love it.
Keep it
I
up.
love it. Yes, just
I just want to see.
And
I wonder if he can play above the rim at all.
Zoo.
he looks like he can, but
He's a solid athlete for his size, but with all that muscle, it's kind of hard to go jumping too. I saw a couple of the practice footage where he got like put back dunk off of a missed shot and stuff. So I mean, he definitely has it. I think that I think for both, honestly, the Haven and Rome, I think for both of the European guys, this is so Coach Kelsey mentioned it in the press conference. He said that both of these guys, European basketball is extremely regimented. Everything is sets, everything is set plays. These guys, big guys, are used to having a very specific job, and they did their job. They go screen here, roll this time, fade this time, go rebound. You're gonna control and patrol this area. Everything was so regimented that with the Kelsey system, where there's so much feel to it. Feel what you do. Feel when you need to roll. Feel when you need to fade. When you get the ball, feel what you do next. Do you go to the basket? Do you kick it out? Do you look to make a play? Like it's all left up to your interpretation and what the defense is giving you. And it is very difficult for these guys that have been playing ball, because you talk about, these are professional players, but these are guys that have played in super strict basketball their whole lives. So this Pat Kelsey kind of, I don't know if you want to call it a hippie basketball, but this kind of free love and freelance basketball is very
man, I was going to say more
different.
like jazz. It's more like it's like jazz and hip hop with all that improvisational ball handling. That's
Yes,
just not.
yes.
And
They
you
are used
regimented
to that. They are used to like orchestra or, you
yeah,
know,
and then it's going to take a while. I think it's also going to take a while because you really saw this in the Kansas game when they got the ball low. The few times they got a chance to touch the ball low, I don't think they're prepared for the athleticism, the size of American ball players. I think kind of took them by surprise, the athleticism and the aggressiveness that they got. And I think they were kind of
it was
kind of almost
overwhelming.
shocked, like,
Yeah.
whoa, hey, what's this going on?
It's very aggressive, and it's not professional at all. Like, the European players
Yeah.
that they're playing physical, but it's still very, gentlemanly. They're playing a gentleman's game. Like it's aggressive, it's physical, but it's not personal. Where American basketball is played with passion,
The
it is
Rucker
We're
played
Park,
with
handsy.
baby.
aggressiveness.
We're handsy over here.
We're
Taking it to the
talking
dirt
about your
bowl.
mama. We talking about your girlfriends. I'm gonna go. As soon as I get up out of here, me and your girls going to get. Like all of that. Like they're not used to that. So you're out here trying to learn. You got this crazy American system. You got Flory Bendiga talking about he's about to knock off your girl. Is that your girl in the crowd? Like it's a lot to take in. You know what I mean? Like that's why I
Uh,
it's when you see those guys and they're looking a little bit like deer in headlights and lost, there's a lot of things that they are taking in right now, that they haven't gotten over the last 4 or 5 months since they've been there, because they're with their teammates. But now you're out in the
Very true.
wild. You're going to be going on the road. There's going to be fans talking crazy to you. Lord knows what the hell they're going to say when they go to Arkansas. But like all these are going to be new experiences for these European guys, and that's why I think they're them especially Roman and Haven. I think that they have the opportunity where they could get better and better and better. We could see them get exponentially better as the season goes, especially Sananda Fru, because I think Fru has everything. I think he has the speed, I think he has the strength, and I think he has the athleticism to compete with anybody out there. But when you're thinking and when you're hesitating and when you're worried about what you're supposed to be doing, you can't play fast. It's kind of Haven, like we talked about on the football team. The reason that the defense looked so bad for U of L last year is because everybody was out there thinking and not just playing. So even though we
Not
had the
reacting, yeah.
athletes, you can't react naturally. So that keeps you from being able to unlock that athleticism. And I think that's what's happening with the big guys is that right now their speed, their athleticism, their skill is kind of being nerfed by the fact that they're thinking all the time. Everything is like, oh God, what am I supposed to do? But fast forward a month from now, fast forward into ACC play, at that point, they got it. They're down there. None of that stuff bothers them anymore. Now they're just out there and they're just playing basketball. And once they get there, I think we'll start to really see what we expected to see from them early. So that's the thing I'll say about that. For me,
And
go
I
ahead.
was gonna say,
Go ahead.
I got one more player to go.
Yeah.
Mikael Brown. That's
Okay.
my that's the guy I want to see more from. I want to see him become more of the point guard we know he can be. I think he pressed a little too much during Kansas game,
Hmm.
trying to show the world that he's just as good as Kobe Bryant Jr. apparently was playing against, and he kind of got showed up a lot. He played more into his game against Bucknell, so I was going to see that continuation of his game, the continued elevation of his game, and playing within himself. Like I ran track all through high school and some of college, and the first thing every track coach tells you the same thing: run your race, don't run the next man's race. Always just run your race. You try to run somebody else's race, you're gonna lose. Just run your race. Well, the first game, he tried to run Kansas race and lost. Bucknell,
Yeah.
he ran his race. So I want to see him continue to run his race, especially as we go like our first away game. I want to see what he's going to do on the road. With a hostile
Yeah.
crowd, if he's going to press or if he's just going to kind of relax and let the game come to him rather than try to force it.
I like you mentioning him because that was going to be a guy that I definitely brought up as somebody who I think has the biggest and the furthest to go. And I know that sounds funny considering he just came off 28 points and 6 assists. Um, that was a good start, but I need Michael living in the opposing defense's lane. I need every time he comes down to be like as he gets caught up to the speed of the college game, he's going to learn how to better and more efficiently use his athleticism and his quickness to where he's able to get into that middle of the lane. He's able to get to that free throw line extended. He's able to get into the middle of that defense at will and spray the ball out to his teammates. Like I need him thinking I need to get 10 plus assists every game. That's all I want him thinking about. How am I going to get to 10 assists today? How am I going to get into this lane and get my guys shots? Like to me, Michael's a dude who can score 20 points in his sleep. He doesn't even need to go out there and hunt shots to put up 20 in a game. So for me, I don't even need him worried about that. I need him worried about how am I going to set up my team this time down to get somebody a look. Get into the lane, kick it out, then spray to the corner, go wherever you need, and let the chaos that you started lead that ball to where it's going to go. A lot of the times, it's going to come right back to you on a kick out, wide open three, bang. But that right there is what Michael needs to work on. Every game is how do I get this 10 assists? Every game. Like to
I
me,
like that.
that's that right there. If you just focus on setting up your teammates and playing defense, keeping your man out of the lane, defending without fouling, that's all I want him focused on. Um, so that's that you were right on point with that one, Haven. And the other guy that I was gonna say, is Kobe Rogers.
Oh,
And and the reason that I say Kobe Rogers is the guy that I need more out of, while I love what Kobe has given me defensively and what I love what he's given me effort wise, Kobe is not even looking to be a factor offensively right now. He's not doing anything on the offensive side of the ball. And he's a young man that has the quickness. He's a young man that has the experience. He's a young man that understands the Kelsey system to be a factor. Like when you're a guy who's that quick twitch on defense, you can utilize that quick twitch ability to get into the lane as well. So when Michael Brown does go to the bench, I don't need it being well, Kobe's out there, but we're giving it to, we're having to lean on Conwell to run everything, or Ali Khalifa is the only guy who can get guys an open look. Like the 2 point guards, when Michael's in there and when Michael's not in there, Kobe Rogers taking leadership of that second role from an offensive standpoint. I already know what you're giving me defensively, but you're not giving us 1/5 of what you can on offense. He's not even looking to be a part of the offense. So I understand that he's trying to defer and he's trying to let other guys shine, but nobody. I mean, and you can tell me if you disagree with this, Roman, but Michael's probably the quickest player on the team. I think Kobe's the second quickest with the ball in his hands. So with that being the case, I'm gonna need for you to be able to create shots for your team. Like, do you agree
Yeah,
with that?
I agree with that. I think him and Woolley are right there. I think I'd give the edge to Kobe for sure. Just because left, like you see Woolley slow down a bit with the right hand. Kobe goes just as fast with the left as he does the right.
Yeah.
I agree with what you just said. Kobe, I've watched you in the clips on a basic screen. You come around that screen, mid-range floater, quick beat the big to the basket with the left hand. Like he has all three levels of a finish inside the arc that he
Kobe
wants.
destroyed Alabama in the NCAA tournament. He gave
Mid-range
Alabama
floater,
18.
Mid-range floater, getting to the left hand from the right elbow type of area, right after either he beats his man or his man gets swamped up in the screen. He comes around it. They're big, just too slow. Left hand, where it's just 2 steps into the lane. Like because he's got the stride and the quickness.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I know he can do it. It's just a matter of him going out there and making it happen. But Rashawn, I think it seems like they are making Woolley the backup primary ball
It
handler.
does seem like that. Woolley has been doing a lot of the initiating, and that's interesting because, like, I know that Woolley and Michael spent a lot of time guarding each other during the summertime. So it definitely feels like they're doing a lot of that with Woolley. But I mean, I don't know if I would, and like I said, it's still early. It's still early, but I just need Kobe to be a part of the like. It just seems like Kobe.
Yeah.
It's almost like Louisville's playing 4-on-5 when Kobe's out there on offense.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
I need you to be part of the offense.
Or
Like, you're not
maybe
doing anything.
Maybe he's
when
just
he's
having
off
the
the ball,
hardest time trying to pick up the system.
He knows the system, Haven Harrison. He's been with Kelsey since he was at Charleston.
And you saw it in the first game. Him and Ali. Like when Kobe off the ball was great in the first game. On the ball, he didn't do anything. In the second game, off the ball, he didn't do anything. On the ball, he was trying to, and just not finding any creases, not really trying to get to any real threatening positions on the floor with the ball.
Kobe was
just trying to be that floor general.
He was
and it's weird
a starting lead guard on an undefeated Division II national championship team. He was in his last year at Charleston, he was a guy who shot 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and was their best defensive player. And like I said, these stand out when the College of Charleston played against Alabama in the NCAA tournament. He's been with Kelsey now for 3 years. He has no excuses, Haven Harrison. He has the game.
I'm just from looking at him, it just appears like he's still trying to find his way. Just from looking at him,
it feels like he's just trying to be the energy guy, and you're selling yourself short, and you're selling the team short of what you can give them if you're just I don't want him to be typecast as look at Kobe. He's gonna go out there. He's gonna dive for a loose ball. He's gonna be
or do it all Swiss Army knife off the bench.
You know what I mean? No,
you got the quickest first step on the team.
Yes. He's better than that. He's more athletic than that. Like, I need for Kobe to be the same kind of aggressive dog that he's been his whole career. So that's why I say that about him. But let's flip it to the other side, y'all, and just talk about what are the things or the guys that you think you can trust or you feel like you know what you're going to get from them. Haven, I'll let you go first this time around. I guess I should point like that. Yeah, you.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. To me, I think the guy I could trust would be Hadley the most. He seems to be he was one of the most consistent guys last year.
Yeah.
And he's still the most consistent guy on our team this year. Like, almost exactly what you can get from him, no matter who you play, no matter how good the competition is, no matter if it's away game, home game, no matter where it is, you know what you're going to get from Javon Hadley. And he's going to give it to you every time.
Even though that dude had 7 wide open threes and his jump shot was extra broke last night. 1 for 7 from 3. That was terrible. It's like, come on,
gotta fix that.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what?
It happens. It happens.
But you know what? But you have like 12 other marksmen on the team, and you bring so many other things to the table. You know, if your shot's not dropping,
Yeah.
Just be Dennis Rodman. Just
Yeah.
get the rebound and just kick it back out
Yeah. That's fair.
and
What
play
about
killer defense.
anybody else? No, because I agree with you. I mean, Hadley is, you can set your watch by Javon Hadley. He's going to give you great defense. He's going to give you great effort. He's going to rebound the heck out of the ball.
Yeah,
You
obviously
know,
I trust Conwell already.
yeah.
McNeely's gonna have to show me a little bit more on offense outside of his shooting,
Yeah.
and then defensively, I know he's athletic enough to not give up any resistance or to have some resistance like he had in the Bucknell game and didn't have in the Kansas game. So I want to see that a little bit, just because I watched him had to hold his own for Virginia when he was the emphasis. He was the
Yeah.
point of attack for other teams' offense. Let's go after him. Let's go after that kid.
Yeah.
He can't guard any of us, right? And he would hold his own out
Yeah.
there.
There are no
I want to
Rain
see.
Smiths this year. Like, I love Rain, but teams picked on Rain,
Oh, yes, they did.
relentlessly. Like that, there should not be
Yeah.
any Rain Smiths on this team.
No. So I just want to continue to see him be a presence on the defensive end going forward. But outside of that, I really do trust him. But Conwell probably number one, and then you got to go with Hadley at number two. He's just hard not to trust. If you take away the Kanai turnovers, just in moments where he was about to make the decision I wanted him to make, and then they got a strip right at the start of it. It's like it's like you were about to try to drive to the basket, and then they stole it. So it's like I want to be mad, but I don't, because you do what I want you to do. But you also showed that you're not being aware enough in that moment to do that. So that's kind of tough. But so I can't go with Kanai. I got to go with Hadley. Got to go Conwell and Hadley.
That's fair. For me, Ali Khalifa. Like, Ali Khalifa's been the best big man on the team. Shout out to me, because I said that Ali Khalifa needed to be the man starting. I've been saying it since last year. I love what Ali Khalifa brings. He is a lot quicker now. His conditioning has gotten better. He moves his feet better. He holds his own in the paint. Now, there were a couple of times where Ali Khalifa got the ball down on the block, and it looked like he was going to make a nice little post move, and then kind of just got stuck in the middle of the post move and just, I don't know what happened. Looked like he just blew a tire. So, Ali, like, you made the move, but like, let's go with the hook shot, bro. Let's
like those are all our bigs who just like get the ball.
It was just weird because he was like,
have no idea what to do with it.
One dribble, two dribble. I'm like, okay, Ali, and he kind of bangs his shoulder, and then was just like, I'm like, what is that? Like, shoot it, like.
You need to bring Kim Olajuwon in and show these dudes some post moves.
I'm like, man, I was a little disappointed with that, but he's made the right decisions. His passing, he was being a little bit ridiculous with the passing in the Kansas game, like the behind the back wraparound bounce post entry pass. That was a little bit much. But in the second game, he did not make one single, like, he read the situation and made the proper pass. He had, I believe it was 6 assists and no turnovers. 5 assists and no turn. It was 5 assists and no turnovers in the game yesterday. For your center to come off the bench in about 18 minutes of play and give you 5 assists, no turnovers, was good in the paint. He was able to bother some shots. He was able to do some things to bother Bucknell in the paint. He was able to do some things to bother Kansas in the paint. I've just been impressed with Ali Khalifa. I think that as consistent as Javon Hadley is on the perimeter and, as that wing defender, I think we'll be able to count on Ali Khalifa every game. I think as long as he's healthy, he's going to be good. Like, I don't worry about him. That's a dude that's experienced. That's a guy who's been through the wars. He's been through, the Big 12. He's seen everything. He gave Kansas the work when he was at BYU. On one knee, and now that he's in better shape, I would love to see Ali get more of that time. I don't think necessarily you have to start him over Frew. Like, I'm okay with Sananda being the starter.
But if you want to sub like this, they should be getting good minutes anyways.
Yeah.
Most def.
And the other guy that I would say that I trust, honestly, and this is going to be interesting because this is in direct opposite to Mr. Roman Kelly, it's Kanai Ruth. Like, I trust Kanai implicitly. Kanai this year has come out and, to me, while I agree with you, Rome, with the ball handling and trying to unlocking his offensive game, that will take him to the next level and get him ready for the league. It feels like Kanai has come out this year and decided he's going to be the enforcer. He's going to be that defensive playmaker, and he's going to be that guy that just doesn't take no shit from anybody.
Yeah, you might not like me.
Yeah, like he has Haven Harrington. You like this? He has a little bit of that old school Cincinnati Bearcat feel to him.
Ah,
So so some of that huggy bear Bob Thuggins
he's just
going
too light
on.
skinned.
Yeah, right, but he's trying to piss people off. You saw he got into a scrap with the Bucknell guys, underneath the rim after that play. Like, I love that nastiness, and Kanai just feels like a guy who he's willing to do all the dirty work. He's willing to do everything. He's going to be aggressive on the boards. He's going to challenge shots at the rim. He was 2 for 4 from 3 in that game. Like, I agree with you. Like, he definitely needs to be able to put the ball on the deck, but I think I can trust him because when he's out there, he's going to be a demon defensively and on the backboards. He was the only player that had a positive plus minus against Kansas. He was plus 11 last night against Bucknell. The second highest on the bench behind Ali Khalifa, who was like a plus 18, I don't know, by the way. But those two guys are the guys that I trust, that I know what I feel like I know what I'm going to get from them on a night in, night out basis. So when you add that, to Javon Hadley and Ryan Conwell, which both of you guys mentioned, man, like, if you know that you can trust those 4 guys night in, night out on what you're going to get, you're going to be in a nice spot. You're
You
going to
should
be
get
in
some
a
good
great
production.
spot. And the one thing that I'll say, and this is kind of a global thing, as far as the team thing that I feel like I can trust, Louisville's they're going to be a very good rebounding team this year. And the reason why, we have an excellent collection of rebounding guards this year. Like,
We all box out. They all box out
Conwell,
extremely well.
Conwell, who had 8 rebounds last night. Michael is a demon on the boards. Kobe is a demon on the boards. Like, people were fussing about Sananda Frew only having 2 rebounds, but then when I went back and I looked at the numbers, our guards had so many rebounds. It was like, well, hell, that's why Sananda only has 2 boards. It wasn't like he was getting bullied and the Bucknell guys were getting boards. The guards were stealing all the rebounds.
Which
Yeah.
for a team that shoots as many threes as they do, you expect your guards to get a lot of rebounds because you're going to get a lot of long rebounds.
They are very good at pursuing the ball. Louisville out rebounded Kansas by 13 boards. They out rebounded
Bucknell.
Bucknell by 2. But the only reason they only out rebounded Bucknell by 2 is because Louisville shot such a good percentage from the field. There just weren't a lot of rebounds out there to be had. But in both games, they held both teams, Kansas and Bucknell, to single-digit offensive rebounds. And if you're holding a team to single-digit offensive rebounds, that's an indicator that you're going out there, and when they're missing shots, most of the time you're grabbing that rebound. 8 offensive rebounds against Kansas, 9 offensive rebounds against Bucknell. So that's probably the biggest thing that I trust globally about this team that kind of impressed me through the first couple of games. But I guess before we close this out, what do you guys want to see? Like what's going to be the biggest thing now that we're through these 2 exhibition games? We got Kentucky coming up, we got South Carolina State, and then Jackson State coming up. What do you need to see from Louisville? Like what will you be looking for? It could be a person, it could be something from the coaching staff. Like, what do you need to see? Because these are going to be 2 keep it real. These are 2 opponents that Louisville should just destroy. So what are you going to be looking for?
Pressure on the rim and clean basketball. I don't want to see any crazy number of turnovers against either one of these teams who shouldn't have some multiple athletes who can go out there and disrupt play hard enough to where you're having costly turnover or normal turnovers, right? Mm-hmm. And the unforced turnovers are unacceptable. You've been playing together long enough for that to be not something happening. So I want to see clean basketball against these teams, because that you got to get in the rhythm of it now, right? You can't rely on this crazy up and down jerky type of balls going everywhere, 50-50 ball on every possession. Get the ball, bring it down, box out, get your outlet, and play fast, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of see that fall into these two games with no turnovers. Another thing, pressure on the rim, fellas. Like I already said that. Pressure on the rim. Get into the paint on these teams. Learn what angles you like to do it now, what moments in transition you like to do it. Do you prefer having a shooter on your left or in the corner? Do you want to know if there's somebody that can give you a help or that can pull the help defender away, right? Little things like that you just have to get comfortable when you see it against real opposition, because you're not going to have your teammates not going to try to hurt you when you're going up to the basket in practice, right?
Mhm.
So just knowing when moments to attack and when to make the right play and pass, and when to try to probe the defense and when to try to go and set a screen. Little things like that a real game scenario can truly only offer it to you. You've now had 2 moments like that. Go out there, find the ways to get into the rim, because you're going to have to make that happen against some of the teams that we play.
Fair. What about you, Haven?
I want to see more of an emphasis on defense
Okay.
as a whole, and more scoring in the paint. I think they only have 6,
8
maybe
points.
8 points in
total.
the paint against Bucknell.
Yeah.
I want to see this more scoring in the paint, because you have to have that threat. Even though you're not, even if you don't do it all year long, you still need that threat that you can score in the paint consistently.
No, sorry. It was 16 points in the paint, but only 8 shot attempts.
8 shot,
inside
okay.
the line. Yeah, it's
More
crazy.
scoring in the paint.
Yeah, need more.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. No, I agree with you. Like for me, it's gonna be just about more comfort. I'm definitely gonna be looking at the bigs. I want to see Sanada Fru be more comfortable out there. I want to see him being a little bit more decisive, and I want to see Michael Brown get into. I need double figure assists. This is a team that you should be able to get where you need to. This is not a game for him to go out there. If he goes out there and puts up big numbers offensively, it needs to be efficient. But I need to see him getting into the lane, running his team, getting other guys shots. Pat Kelsey runs a lot of smart offense. He runs a lot of nice sets to get lob passes to the big men. That the connection that Chucky and James Scott had was outstanding. And I think that Michael and Fru are going to get that, and they need to work on that connection, because Michael has the passing ability to be able to exploit that even more, to where, when you go on that pick and roll and Fru rolls to the basket, Michael has the passing ability to see everybody on the floor and know exactly who needs to get the ball in that situation, whether it be the lob to the basket, spray to the left corner, spray to the right corner. So that's going to be probably the main thing that I'm going to be looking at, is just comfortability of the post players, and Michael Brown's assist numbers. And then, as I did touch on, I want to see Kobe do a little bit more. But those are kind of the biggest things to get ready to. Any nervousness over Case and Pryor already being announced out for the South Carolina State game? Any worry about that?
I didn't think he'd be ready. I really doubted he'd be ready by the UK game. So.
It's weird because dude is going hard before games. Like, he's practicing with the team. He's going through all the layup lines. He's been practicing 5-on-5 for a couple of weeks. I understand that Coach Kelsey is, opting for, caution, but it's like, as hard as dude is going in these pre-practice, workouts and stuff. I mean, Kaysen is watching him on the sidelines, Rome, and we saw this when you were there for the Kansas game. Dude is just standing at the end of the bench like the whole game. He can't even sit down.
He wants to play bad.
He does. He does.
He'd be there soon enough. We have a long season.
Yes, agreed. So, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully UK will get embarrassed by Georgetown tomorrow and make my week. That will be what I'm looking for as well. But that's gonna be it for me. Haven, you got any thoughts, any parting thoughts, or anything about this team before we get out of here?
No thoughts about this team, man. Just go Cars, beat Vitek, and go James Franklin of Vitek.
I know. I saw that James Franklin might be the next coach at Virginia Tech. That's wild.
As I predicted 2 weeks ago.
You did. That's a good call. Look at Haven Harrington. See, and you worked in some football to the end of the basketball show. Like I'd always expected. But thank you so much, Roman Kelly, for joining. Thanks so much, Haven Harrington, as always. This is Rashawn Myers for Breakdown 502. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can go to Main Event Sports Radio on Facebook, on YouTube. Like, subscribe as well. Make sure you follow Haven Harrington at Me Sports. Follow Roman Kelly at Romy Bean, myself at Rashawn, Raashaan. And like we like to end every show, without struggle,
Hey, there is no
There's no
progress.
progress.